The night is cold as the Chu family carries out their dark deed. The villa master checks one last detail. Did you deal with Chuc? His subordinate confirms. Resolved. No survivors left. A loyal servant lies dead, silenced for trying to do the right thing. But the master feels no guilt. He's only angry that a mere servant nearly ruined his grand plans for the sacrifice. He turns his rage toward his useless son. We learn a shocking truth. The sword sacrifice was supposed to be the young master. But the father, unwilling to lose his son, decided to sacrifice his adopted daughter instead. Chu Ling hears everything. Her heart breaks as the realization hits her. So they raised me. For this purpose. She wasn't family. She was just livestock raised for slaughter. But the cruelty gets worse. The young master looks at her with lust. Since she is going to die anyway, he disgustingly asks to use her for just half an hour before the ritual. The father pulls his ear, scolding him. Not because it's evil, but because it might ruin the Chu family's reputation. In his anger, he reveals that she is merely the daughter of 2 dead slaves to him. Then, the stepmother speaks up with a chilling suggestion. Why not just let him have his half hour? Hearing this, tears stream down Chu Ling's face. She finally understands. Her biological parents were killed by these very people. As the master justifies the murder for the sake of the ancestor's sword, Chu Ling's mind drifts away. She suddenly remembers Luthi and the warning he tried to give her. In a flashback, we see a naive Chu Ling begging the young master. Let me go home, I really miss my parents. She was blind back then. Luthi, knowing the truth, had held her close and asked, they aren't your biological parents. Why the rush? Only now, facing death, does she understand the weight of his question. In the flashback, her naivety is painful to watch. She even defended the Chu family, claiming they treated her better than her own blood. Luthi, knowing the future, simply smiled a dark smile and promised, when that sword is finished, I will take you home myself. Now, she realizes that promise was actually a death sentence. She had accused him of lying, thinking he was just making excuses to keep her by his side. She thought the sword refining was a lie. How wrong she was. The memory turns into a nightmare. She remembers blaming Lu for everything, screaming that it was his fault she couldn't save her parents. She cursed the only man who actually tried to protect her. The guilt now is heavier than any chain. Back in the present, lying helpless on the stretcher, the final piece clicks into place. She asks herself, Luthi, the sword you mentioned, was it actually this demon sword? She finally understands what he was trying to save her from. Meanwhile, Luthi is watching the entire show unfold from a distance. His system chimes in, reporting that it's a pity Chu Ling is in a coma and can't hear the cruel truth revealed by her so-called family. But Luthi scoffs at the idea. Coma? Don't be ridiculous. He sneers. He knows her true identity as a reborn empress. A little sleeping drug is nothing to her. She isn't unconscious. She is just feigning sleep because she's too cowardly to accept the brutal reality. The system asks the million-dollar question, does Master want to save her? Lu Yi's expression turns cold. Save her. I can't be happy enough seeing her end up like this. He isn't a hero rushing to the rescue. He wants her to suffer the consequences of her betrayal. Back at the villa, the procession arrives at the altar. The treacherous family kneels down in reverence. The moment has come. The old ancestor, Chu Ling, reveals himself. With a withered face and a dark aura, he looks more like a demon than a cultivator. This is the monster waiting for the sacrifice. He eyes Chu Ling greedily, like a predator looking at a fresh meal. Not bad, he mutters, demanding they hand her over immediately. Chu Ling is now literally in the hands of the devil. The ceremony begins. The old ancestor commands Zhongshan and Shifei to stay and witness the birth of the demon sword. To them, watching an innocent girl die is a privilege granted by their ancestor. The sword burns menacingly in the flames. The old ancestor reveals that he has spent 30 years of blood and sweat on this weapon. It is his life's work. and it is hungry. Now, it only lacks the final ingredient, a living soul. The Villa Master congratulates the ancestor, predicting that once the sword is forged, he will break through to the shattering infant realm. Blinded by the promise of power, the old ancestor shouts, "Let's begin." The altar erupts with energy. Swords fly and flames roar as the ritual reaches its peak. With a crazed look in his eyes, the ancestor commands the sacrifice to be made. The Villa Master carries Chu Ling towards the fire. His parting words are cold and heartless. Raising you for so many years wasn't in vain. To him, she was never a daughter. She was just an investment waiting to be cashed out. Without a shred of hesitation or mercy, he throws her into the scorching furnace. The flames swallow her whole. Watching from the sidelines, the scumbag young master shakes his head. He isn't worried about her life. He only mutters, "What a waste." He is only regretting that such a beauty is being destroyed before he could touch her. But then, something terrifying happens. Instead of screams of agony, laughter echoes from the inferno. He, ha ha ha, Chu Ling isn't dying. The betrayal, the pain, the fire. It hasn't killed her. It has awakened the monster inside her. Within the roaring flames, a blood-red sword manifests. But the Villa Master panics. He senses something is wrong. This killing intent, it's too strong, too alive. He screams. What happened? From the smoke, a figure emerges. Not a charred corpse, but a hand gripping a blade of pure violet energy. The atmosphere shifts instantly from heat to bone-chilling cold. Chu Ling rises into the air like an avenging goddess. She didn't burn. She absorbed the power. The old ancestor stares in shock as his sacrifice looks down on him with absolute dominance. The young master screams, "Dad, she's not dead!" Panic erupts. The old ancestor trembles, muttering, "How is this possible?" His 30-year plan is crumbling right before his eyes. Chu Ling wastes no breath on words. She dives straight for the head of the snake, the old ancestor himself. The hunter has become the hunted. The old man desperately raises his weapon to block, but it's futile. Her power is overwhelming, crushing his defenses instantly. In his final moments, the stubborn old man still screams about his rules. The demon sword is not used like this. He cares more about his precious sword technique than his own life. But Chu Ling doesn't care about his rules. She swings her blade down, delivering a judgment strike. Covered in wounds, but standing tall, she delivers her verdict. Her eyes are cold as she whispers, "The demon sword should be used to slaughter demons." And in her eyes, the real demons are the people of the Chu Sword Villa.